Dennis here at Capital Training Shoeing. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about abscesses, and they're very common in our part of the country anyway. I think because we have such a moist climate here, it makes them more susceptible to abscesses. The cause of them can vary widely. I mean, they can be caused from a puncture. They can be caused from a bruise. You know, sometimes we don't know. There might be a little pocket of some infection that gets trapped, and then it grows in there, and that can cause an abscess. What an abscess is a it's about like if you've ever mashed your thumb and maybe get a blood blister underneath that thumb, and as the pressure builds up, it's very painful. But once that pocket of fluid is opened up, usually the pain goes away, and that's typically the way an abscess in a horse's foot works as well. I try to do the least I can when I think I'm dealing with an abscess. Classic signs of an abscess usually are a horse that are just pointing the toe down and they won't load up on the heel. That's usually a pretty good indication, but not always. It's a sometimes thing. I have found that when it comes to doing anything with a horse, whether it be training or whether it be working with their feet, sometimes is a very good word to use, because you don't know with all certainty all the time what's going on, and you'll drive yourself crazy trying to figure out what caused something. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what caused it. You deal with what's there at the moment. Now this particular horse, about 7 or 8 days ago, was lame in both hind feet, and because it was both of them, he wasn't standing toed down. You could just see that when he moved, it was hurting. So what I did was the minimal that I felt I needed to do at that time, and that was pick this foot up here and show you. The way that I search for abscesses is to clean the sole out. Take the part of the sole that is flaky and just remove that. So that's what I did, and I found just a little dark place right out here along the white line, right at the toe. So I just dug that out until there was some moisture, some black moisture come out, which is an indication that the abscess was ready to open up. If you dig in there and you're hitting blood, stop. You know, it's too early. It might be an abscess that's causing the blood, but I think you're too early to be in there. You know, let that thing have some time, and when it's ready to come open, it'll be a lot less traumatic to the horse. So all I did was relieve that pressure here by opening up that little spot, and it's still, you know, there's nothing that you can really see there at the moment. There was just some liquid come out of it when I did it. But I did not trim the foot at that time, and the reason that I didn't is because the extra length was going to protect that area from bearing too much weight right there. So now I'm going to go ahead and trim the foot, and I'll just show you. Let's see. Oh, I got a pin here that marks. I'll show you where I'm going to trim, right along this line here. And come out back there. I'm going to trim right along this line. And back out there. And you can see there's not a lot of foot to come off, so I'm not even going to use the nippers. I'm going to just use the rasp and chase that foot down to that line, and I'm going to stay above that black mark that I put on there. See this dark spot right there? That is dirt that has been trapped between the hoof wall and the white line. There's some gravel in there. So if I don't get that gravel out of there, there it came. There was too big a chance of it coming right up the foot in the lamini, just migrating up the inside of the foot. So I don't want to leave that gravel in there. Now I'm going to just bevel the edge. I did not take the hoof wall all the way down to sole. It's very close, but it's not down to sole. Now I'm going to angle my rasp here and rasp off in the front, rasp off on the sides. And then I'm going to take those burrs off and make the hoof wall the same thickness all the way around. And what I've done here then is created a place right in here in the center of the foot to fill up with dirt. And then the outer edge of the white line is going to help to hold that dirt in. And I've got the edges of the foot rolled off so that they won't chip, and to make it easy for the horse to move. And that is still offering protection where this spot up here that was once sore is not going to be touching the ground, because that's right over a toe pillar, and that should be a weight-bearing surface. But because of that abscess being there, I'm going to rely more heavily on the hoof wall and not on the toe pillar itself. The inside one will be just fine. But anyway, that's a trim right there that will satisfy the balance needs of the foot and also offer enough protection on the bottom of the foot. But this is the stuff here that really took care of the abscess, I believe, because when I opened that up a week ago, I just put some of this tea tree oil down in there, and that will pretty well take care of any infection that's inside that foot, and just let it have a chance to go ahead and heal. Sometimes those abscesses will undermine the whole sole, and you know, in time that whole sole is going to come out. But behind it will be a fresh new sole that will replace it, and everything will be all fine. So it's just a temporary thing. But abscesses do need to be opened up, and I find they're somewhat elusive. You might go out one day and the horse looks sound, and you might go out the next day and find that horse is swollen from, you know, his hairline all the way up the leg, but always getting that thing opened up and getting that stuff to drain out is going to be where the pain relief comes from. And generally in a day or two, a horse is just fine. You know, there are some rare cases where maybe there was so much sensitive tissue that was exposed on the bottom of the foot that you've got to clean it out and put a hospital plate on there or a pad or something, so that, you know, we keep the foot real clean. But most of the time, just like here, you see which foot he's loading up on. He's loading up on the one I just trimmed. So the other foot was the exact same way, and I haven't done anything to it yet. You can tell he's more comfortable on the foot that I just trimmed because of getting that balance there for him and positioning that hoof wall to where it wasn't causing some sort of pressure on him that was uncomfortable for him. So anyway, that's a simple way that I deal with abscesses, and hope that helps you. If you like the content that we're putting out, just hit that subscribe button. Appreciate you being with us.